Alright, alright. My first Ultimate Rumble book on the channel. Yes. Um, here's the brackets for it though. Let's go back to the Pleistocene period, around 12,000 to 2.58 million. 16 prehistoric creatures of all sizes gather for a tournament of skill and power. If you lose your match, you're out of the tournament. Who will win? The woolly mammoth is possibly the most famous prehistoric mammal of all time, but was no bigger than an African, so they weren't that big. Yeah. Scimitar cat was also called Homotherium, and here, if you can notice, Homotherium is written in italic. So the italic in this whole book, the italic is just gonna represent the scientific name. So all I have to say. And was a deadly predator that most likely hunted young mammoths. So I really just messed up the mammoth there. It looks stupid. The woolly mammoth is larger than the scimitar cat and attempts to scare it away by stomping the ground. It does not help. The scimitar cat pounces on the mammoth and bites a chunk of flesh out of its leg. The woolly mammoth eventually gets out. So scimitar cat wins. Yeah. Steppe mammoth is the largest animal in this book. It is closely related to elephants and woolly mammoths. The giant cheetah's scientific name is Acinonyx pardonensis. It was much larger than its descendant, hence the name. It was swift and agile. By descendant, I mean the modern cheetah, like Acinonyx jubatus. That's how you pronounce it. The giant cheetah is no match for the mammoth. The mammoth has no problem tossing and pushing the cat around. The giant cat manages to claw the steppe mammoth, but it pushes the cheetah down and crushes it with strong feet. So a steppe mammoth wins. Before I get a million comments and discussions in the discussions tab, yes, I did mess up the size comparison here. I'm not fixing it, so don't ask. Gigantopithecus, see it's italic, so that's the scientific name. I don't think it has like a common name, but yeah. Gigantopithecus was a 3-meter tall great ape and had similar looks to a modern orangutan. It won't fight Canis dirus, which is the direwolf. Meet the direwolf, the largest wolf that ever lived. This fight features an ape fighting a canine. Oh yeah, there's your little ape and your little dog. The direwolf jumps on the ape's back and claws and bites its skin. The huge ape swings the wolf onto the ground, breaking its bones. The direwolf attacks the ape in retaliation and delivers a fatal blow to its chest. Direwolf wins. And let me say why I had the direwolf win. The orangutan thing is a lot bigger than the wolf, but direwolves they're just really skilled fighters, and they often hunt horses and like a lot of other large animals. So I mean, it was kind of hard to write this match because like they're kind of even. If you ask me, my opinion, but I just had the direwolf. Definitely not because I like. What? Is this a fair fight? A rodent against a giant big cat. The giant beaver is the largest rodent that ever lived, larger than the modern capybara. Giant beaver. The American lion is the largest cat of all time and was most likely maneless. It dwarfed the Siberian tiger. But yeah, it was pretty big, I guess. Fight starts. The American lion has no problems avoiding the giant beaver's long incisors. I might have spelled incisors wrong. I'm not fixing it. It bites the rodent and presses its 4-inch long canines into the giant beaver. The American lion does not let go, so American lion does win. Obviously. The woolly rhino or woolly rhinoceros was certainly a big furry beast, about the size of a white rhino. The glyptodon was similar to modern armadillos, but a lot larger, weighing 2 tons. So just an example of how large the glyptodon is, if you had a glyptodon do like a handstand or like a headstand, it would be taller than an adult human. They're pretty big. The glyptodon attempts to attack the rhinoceros with its hard tail, but it does no damage as the rhino's skin protects it. The woolly rhino charges with its horns down and punctures the glyptodon's armor-like shell. Woolly Rhino wins. Um, the world famous Smilodon has finally joined the competition. It might just be the most well-known extinct big cat. So there's the saber-toothed cat. Again, the Smilodon is the scientific name, so it's italic. The giant ground sloth was not as easy to kill as you may have thought. They were 12 feet tall and had claws sharp enough to tear apart ancient. So, this thing is 12 feet tall, so it's much larger than the saber tooth. It's probably like maybe the tallest animal in this book, I think. Saber-toothed cat is aware of the giant sloth's sharp claws. It patiently waits for the sloth to go back to eating. As the giant ground sloth gets on its hind legs to feed on the plants, the saber-tooth pounces and crushes the sloth's neck with one giant bite. Saber-tooth wins, and the sloth does not know what hit it. So there's just this terrible shot of the cat's canines. I just got lazy. This picture. I didn't even think. Cave lion was a large cat that most likely hunted in forests. Well, I mean, yeah. Many of their remains were found in caves, which is why they are called cave lions. And also, they are the second largest, I think, probably, they're the second largest big cat that ever lived. So, yeah. And the third largest is a Nandong tiger, which I wanted to add, but I figured that would just be too much for the book because, like, I'm already, like, half of this book is just filled with extinct cats, so, yeah. I also thought the Nandong tiger is too OP, so that's another reason at it. So yeah. The Irish elk, or Irish deer, or giant deer, was the largest deer that ever lived, having antlers as long as 12 feet, tip to tip. The cave lion attacks the Irish elk with its claws. The Irish elk tries to injure the big cat with its huge antlers and lands a direct hit. The cave lion is severely hurt, however, it manages to break the elk's leg. The Irish elk will eventually collapses. It will become dinner for the cave lion. So, cave lion does win. And this is just a giant cat compared to a giant deer. The American Maston is a smaller relative of the woolly and steppe mammoth. It's like here, when I wrote that part, I was just stupid because I thought the mastodon was a mammoth. Well, I mean, it is an elephant, and mammoths are also elephants, but mastodons and mammoths, they're not related, so I was just stupid, and I'm not gonna fix that. Yeah. It will fight the largest bear that ever lived, which is the short-faced bear. The short-faced bear was a large apex predator during the Pleistocene period. So large and tough that it often stole other predators' kills. Other predators, like the other predators that I'm talking about, are like dire wolves, packs of dire wolves, saber-tooths. So yeah, it was big, huge. Short-faced bear has strong limbs and claws. Its jaws are excellent for crushing bones. It grabs a hold of the mastodon's neck and makes quick work of the giant elephant. Short-faced bear wins. Also, before I recorded this, I almost forgot to put the ears of the mastodon. So I mean, good thing I remembered. Scimitar cat is wandering, looking for spot the mammoth. Also, we're in round 2 right now. Steppe mammoths often move in herds. Killing one mammoth is enough to defeat a huge cat. The scimitar cat jumps on top of the mammoth and claws its skin. This causes the mammoth to collapse, crashing onto the cat. The steppe mammoth then charges the scimitar cat with its tusks and uses its weight to squish the cat. So yeah, steppe mammoth does win that one. So we already have one animal in the final 4. The canid is back to fight the American lion. Deadly predators meet in this match. We can describe this fight as carnivore versus carnivore, dog versus cat, canine versus feline, pack hunter versus solo hunter. So yeah, this American lion just looks like a pet cat, just a little kitten. The American lion knocks the wolf down with his strong arms and claws at it multiple times. The dire wolf struggles to bite the American lion. The American lion pins the dire wolf and takes a bite out of it. Congratulations, American lion. You are going to fight the steppe mammoth in the final 4. American lion wins. As you might have saw at the beginning of the book, I wrote R.I.P. Direwolf. That's because of this match. I love direwolves. So the woolly mammoth
Rhino.
on grass in an open grassland. This is a fairly even fight with weight and horns against stealth versus stealth and teeth. Sabertooth often hunted in groups, much like modern lions. However, the sabertooth had a surprisingly weak jaw, about the strength of a dog, so not the strongest bite, and that's kind of important to know later on in the book. The rhino uses the same tactic as last round and charges at the sabertooth. The agile cat dodges away towards the rhino's rear end and takes a huge bite out of its hind leg. The bleeding woolly rhino limps away, so sabertooth. Um, this part is like blur, probably a bit blurred for you guys because I smudged it too much. And like, yeah, doesn't even matter, I guess. Cave lions and short-faced bears definitely wouldn't have met in real life, mostly because the cave lion lives in Europe while the bear lives in. Also, there's two types of short-faced bears. There's Arctodus simus, which is this one. There's also it's called Arctotherium gustodon. I don't know though. I might make a book about it later on. Short-faced bear was the largest predatory land mammal in North America. Its scientific name is Arctodus simus, again in italic. The cave lion spots the giant short-faced bear and charges towards it. The cave lion claws and nips at the bear's back. The bear is strong and manages to catch the feline into its jaws. Within a few minutes, the bear will be heading off to the final four. Short-faced bear wins. We have our final four: steppe mammoth, American lion, saber-toothed cat, and short-faced bear, down with the semifinals. Welcome to the prehistoric final four. The first match is steppe mammoth versus American lion. So here, this defeat, I completely copied it from Ultimate Dinosaur Rumble. Don't mind. Both animals are amazing fighters. This match pits strength and size versus agility and aggressiveness. And again, this just looks like a kitten. The American lion. The American lion gnaws on the mammoth's front leg, but its thick skin protects it. The steppe mammoth then pushes the cat to the side and steps on its back, breaking some bones. It then impales the American lion with its tusks. Steppe mammoth wins. It's honest, this picture looks cursed. I'm not even gonna address it. Yet again, the fan favorite is back. It will now fight a 700-kilogram giant bear. And this picture looks so terrible and stupid because when that picture I was tired. It's like pretty late. Yeah. Would these two animals ever fight in real life? They may fight for carcasses or territory. And again, how I said before, because short-faced bears often stole saber-tooth kills. The short-faced bear attacks the saber-tooth and stands on its hind legs. The saber-tooth jumps on the bear's back and bites down. However, its weak bite does no good. The bear pins the cat to the ground and snaps its neck with its strong jaws and wins. Bear wins. And I hear it's snowing because of Ice Age. Yes. Anyway, now the championship match. It is steppe mammoth versus short-faced bear. So the cats are gone. The small animals are gone. It is now time for the championship match. Elephant versus bear. The bear tries to attack the mammoth's underbelly, but gets intimidated by its size and stands on its hind leg. Short-faced bear stood up to 11 feet tall, so almost as tall as the ground sloth that we've seen earlier. The bear attacks the mammoth's back with its claws and bites down. The mammoth strikes the bear with its heavy trunk, causing it to tumble to the ground. Short-faced bear retreats and then swipes at the steppe mammoth's eyes. The bear then knocks over the mammoth and bites its neck. It may take a long time, but eventually the bear secures the win. Short-faced bear wins. This is one way the competition might have ended. Write your own ending or think of a new version of a Rumble book. So yeah, short-faced bear wins. Obviously.